Hello everyone, welcome back to FPL STAR. Today I gonna discuss about weekly transfer plan for game week 10. Before starting, if you are new in this channel, please subscribe this channel. Now let's start. In this video, I have divided game week 10 transfer into 5 categories. They are essential, differential, sell, hold and ignore. Essential are those kind of players who are very much essential for your team. They have very high ownership and if they don't have you in your team, you can be hurt. The differential player are very less ownership player and they can give you some rank boost if you want to own them. The sell category is the player are not playing very well and you need to sell those kind of player. The hold player is those players who are not playing well but I think they will play very good in near future. The ignore category is those players you don't have them and you don't need them at all. Now move on to our first player, and first essential player for game week 10 is Alfred Zaha. If you look at his fixture, it looks amazing. Leeds United, Leicester are defensively very bad. Even Southampton is very bad in defensively. So there are gonna be a lot of points for Zaha, and that's why I think he is essential. He is just 7.2 million, and I think he is the best buy for game week 10. And if you look at his stat, in last 5 matches, he got 31 points and got 6.2 points per match. And his shot per 90 is 3.04, which is for a midfielder is very good. And that's why I think Zaha is an essential player for game week 10. Now I will move on to the second essential player for game week 10, and it's Kevin De Bruyne from Manchester City. I know they have blank game week in game week 12, but I still think that Kevin De Bruyne is essential because he is like assist magnet. He provides a lot of assists to Haaland and Manchester City looks amazing team, and that's why I think against Southampton, Kevin De Bruyne will obviously start, and as he is starting, he will give some point from assist. Even he can score goal. That's why I think he is essential. If you look at his goal-to-goal ratio is 0.95 for a midfielder is amazing. His shot per 90 is 3.22 and he assists 5 times in last 5 matches. So I think he is essential for game week team. If you can give him in your team, then it's an essential one. But it's hard to pick him up. But because you have Salah, you need another transfer in other area. So I think it's hard to fit him. But if you can fit him, he's an amazing. Now move on to the differential category, and first differential player is Almiron from Newcastle United. He is just 5.1 million and very cheaper one. But in last match he scored 2 goals and he even scored hat-trick in last match, but the goal was disallowed for offside. And if you look at his fixture, it looks good and he's sure starter for Newcastle. Newcastle playing very good football. In last 5 matches, his shot per 90 is 2.54. His goal-to-goal ratio is 0.45, which is not amazing, but he's just 5.1 million, and that's why he's a good cheaper option to fit your team. That's why I think he's a good differential. Now move on to the second differential for game week 10, and it's Phil Foden from Manchester City. I know they have a blank game week in game week 12, but I still think that you should go for Manchester City asset now because they are so amazing. They score a lot of goals. Just one game week they have blank, and I think in Liverpool away in Anfield, City is the favorite one, and that's why I think going for Foden is a very good idea because he can play either in left wing or right wing, so he's a very good option. And if you look at his goal-to-goal ratio is shot per 90 is 2.78 and goal-to-goal ratio is 0.79 just for 8.1 million. And I think in this price bracket he is now the most nailed. Not nailed actually, he is not nailed, but there is some rotation this obviously, but he is the most point gaining player for your team. Now move on to our next category, and it's sell, and first sell is Kulusevski, and you need to sell him because he have hamstring injury problem and he is not a sure starter for Tottenham. Now Richarlison, Son and Kane starting, and Kulusevski is not in the starting 11. That's why I think it's time to sell Kulusevski, and it's not a good one. You can go for Foden for Kulusevski and he will give you a lot of points. That's why I think his underlying data for Kulusevski is not good looking because he in last 5 matches he got 118 points and his goal ratio is 0.54 where the Foden has 0.7 and I already told. That's why I think selling Kulusevski is a nice idea. Now move on to the second sale, and it's Alexander-Arnold from Liverpool, and Liverpool fixture are hard and Liverpool defense looks horrible. They even conceded 3 goals against Brighton, so that's why I think it's not needed to holding Liverpool defender. You should sell Liverpool defender, and that's why I think selling Trent Alexander-Arnold is now a good idea, and you need to sell him because he's 7.4 million and not giving clean sheet or as well as attacking. Though he looks attacking, but his underlying data now doesn't look good because now Liverpool playing bad football, and that's why you need to sell Alexander-Arnold. And Arsenal and Manchester City, they obviously concede goal for Liverpool, and that's why you should sell Alexander-Arnold. Now move on to the hold category, and first hold is Cancelo. A lot of FPL managers selling Cancelo, but I'm no brainer why they sell him, because I know they have blank game week in 12, but in game week 10 they will play Southampton, and there is a lot of chance that he can maintain clean sheet. That's why I think Cancelo is a very good idea for your team, and you need to hold him. You don't need to sell Cancelo, and he's 7.2 million. Is high price, but he can give you some attacking return, and that's why I think holding Cancelo is a very good idea. CTS STAR always good. They are playing very good football. Now move on to the second hold, and it's Tony from Brentford. In last match he blanked against his opponent, but now I think it's not needed to sell him because one game with blank, then he can obviously score. Newcastle Brighton, it's a medium fixer, but you don't need to sell Ivan Tony, who is in great form. You need not to buy him, but if you have him, please hold him because his underlying data looks good. His goal volume ratio is 0.70, which is amazing for striker, and that's why I think Tony is a hold for game week 10. Now move on to the ignore category, and first player you should ignore is Saliba from Arsenal. Arsenal are a very good team, I know, but they have blank game week, and you need to get rid of some of the blank game week player, and I think holding City player is the most essential, and that's why I think you should sell Saliba or other Arsenal player, and don't even think of buying them now. And that's why I think Saliba is a great ignore. I know he's a very good player and he can give you some points, but at present they are not in good shape. Arsenal playing good football, but I think Saliba buying or no is not a good idea. That's why you should ignore this kind of buy. Now move on to the last ignore, and it's Cody from Everton. Everton maintained a very good run of fixture previously, and they got 1 goal and 1 assist for Cody, and they also maintained 2 clean sheet. But if you look at his next 3 fixtures, Manchester United, Tottenham and Newcastle, and I don't think that Everton will maintain clean sheet, and that's why I think it's time to ignore Cody from Everton because he's 4.8 million. You can go for Mings 4.3 million or Nico Williams 4.1 million. They are cheaper option. And if you look at Cody's goal ratio is 0.08, it's not good. That's why I think you should ignore this type of player. Now I will summarize all, and its essential player is Zaha and Kevin De Bruyne, and the differential player is Almiron and Foden. The sale is Kulusevski and Alexander-Arnold. Hold should be Manchester City's Cancelo and Tony, and ignore Saliba and Cody. And that's all. If you enjoy this video, please like this video and don't forget to subscribe this channel, and obviously don't forget to press the bell icon. Happy fantasy, good luck for your